Art Attack. This is Art Attack.
Hello there, welcome once again to Art Attack, the big art show. Do you know, I've discovered a great way of making posters and mass producing them. Come and have a look at this. Take some paper for your posters and then cut a piece of cardboard to exactly the same size as your poster paper. Now the best cardboard to use for this is cardboard box cardboard. And then design your poster onto the cardboard, not the poster paper. Now just draw a very simple drawing in the middle of your cardboard, depending on what type of poster you're doing. Now I'm going to do a poster for a party, so I'm just going to draw some very simple party balloons in there. Just draw the shine on the edges of them, like that. And then fill the rest of the space on your cardboard with thick, chunky lettering. But here's a good tip. If you're right-handed, hold the pen in your left hand, or if you're left-handed, hold the pen in your right hand. And the reason for that is you get this fantastic sort of wobbly line effect. Now I love this effect, you know, it reminds me of those French Parisian posters done by that famous artist Toulouse-Lautrec. Sort of very French, very zany. And just, that's it, right into the corner there. Don't have to be neat, just fill every space available. I'm just going to do this bottom bit quickly here. And again, I say you don't have to be neat at this stage, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut these letters out. But you must fill as much space as you can on your cardboard, even if it just means squeezing one of your letters up there, or even distorting one of your letters down at the bottom so that it fits in, or even putting a letter one inside each other like that. It all adds to that zany French effect. Very Toulouse-Lautrec-y. There it is. When you've done your letters and your drawing, cut them out and put them back into position on your paper, a bit like a jigsaw. So that you've got something that looks like that. And just put the G in there and the H, and again just squeeze them in and find the spaces. Move it over a little bit there. And when you're at that stage, take some blue tack or some sticky tape and literally press it onto the front of your letters, and just make sure it's firmly pressed on, because I'm going to use it to pick up my letter and then dip it into your poster paint. Now, as usual on Art Attack, things tend to get a bit messy, and this is where it can get messy. Let me just shake off the excess paint and then just bring it over and press it into position on your poster and print the first letter. There it is. It can be a bit tricky to pick back up. So just put it up there. And if it doesn't print like that up at the top, you just go over it again. And take the second letter, and again, I'm just going to press some blue tack onto it very firmly, like that, into the paint, trying to get it all covered. And again, back onto the poster, fingers crossed, into position, print it, squidge it on. Let's see if I can pull this one up this time. Holding onto the poster. Nope. It always fights with your paint like this, doesn't it? There it is, and you've got the A on. And go over the whole of your poster exactly like that. And when your poster's finished, hopefully it will look something like that. And whatever you do, don't throw away your cardboard shapes. Put them into an envelope when they're dry and save them. You can take them out any time and mass produce some more posters, all from that one pattern. The only thing to do now is to take your pen, look for the gaps on your poster, and just fill in other details, like the date. You can just squash them in the same zany effect, like that. And there it is, your poster. And then you just hang it up. and enjoy your party, or your dance class, or your sports day, or even your baked bean eating contest.
Very effective. Oh, hello. Yes, it's the head here. That's very simple. Just cut out cardboard shapes and letters and print with paint. But do be careful with the cutting. And you can make your poster say, whatever you want. Hey, whatever you want. Oh, yes, that's very clever. But don't go playing around on building sites. They're very dangerous places. See what I mean?
I've got a good tip for you to remember next time you're drawing cartoons or comic strips. Backgrounds are just as important as your main characters, but keep them simple. Now here's a cartoon character that I've drawn, and I've cut him out so I can practice him on different backgrounds. I'm going to start by putting him into a town scene. I'm going to put him on a street corner as a background, and just here behind him I'm going to draw a brick wall. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh no, brick wall? Thousands of bricks? We're going to be here forever? Well, when you're drawing cartoon brick walls, just draw 1 or 2 bricks in strategic places, like that, and there you get the effect of a brick wall. And as for the pavement itself, Well, you don't have to draw all the slabs. If you just draw those very thick slabs, or the big ones that go on the edge. And as for the road, well, you don't even have to draw the road. If you just draw a grid or a drain on the side there, well, it gives over the impression that this is the road. In fact, if you want, you can even put a couple of cobblestones on the street. Now, I know there's not many cobblestone streets around nowadays, but it just gives over the effect of a street. What about the background in the distance? Well, do you remember that old tip, things fade when they get into the distance? Well, if we just draw a very faded background, I'm just drawing the outline of the roofs, the church there, maybe a couple of chimneys. And again, it's giving over the effect of a town in the background. What I'm drawing here, again, just very lightly, doesn't have to be neat. I'm going to draw a block of flats. And if you draw in flats or tall buildings, just hint at the windows by putting a couple of dots in. And there he is. Your character is on a town background. What about the countryside? Okay, just swap over the paper, lift over my character. Now, the good thing about cutting out your character is you can just keep practicing your backgrounds. And I think what I'll do here is put them in the countryside. The first thing I think of is some grass. So again, just a couple of dotted lines for the grass. And I think we'll put some woods in the distance, or again in the background. If you're going to draw woods for your background, just draw some, it looks like fluffy clouds in the sky. You don't have to draw each tree individually. And then, no, they're not clouds. If you just draw some like scribbly lines for tree trunks and connect them to the ground, there you have the impression of trees in the background. I think we'll just put a stream here. Again, keeping it simple, just one or two lightly drawn lines for the reflections in the water. And there it is. Try it yourself. Cartoon backgrounds. But don't forget, keep it simple.
Oh, that's a nice tip, is that? Using different backgrounds. I will now show you what I look like against a different background. Lower it in! Hello? Hello? Hey, where am I? I've disappeared.
Hello, I'm Mark. This is my black and white picture. I stuck the black one on the white one and the white one on the black one to make my picture. My name's Leslie and I made a picture of a clown out of black and white paper. I put the black paper onto the white paper and the white paper onto the black paper. My name is Ben Frost. On this picture I made a black background. Then I cut half a bird out of black paper. I used it as a template to draw a white bird. Then I stuck them on here.
Yes, that's a good art attack from Aylesford Primary School. I suppose you could call them sort of negative pictures. Well, all you need is two different coloured pieces of paper and just cut one half the size of the other. And then place the smaller one on top of the bigger one. And then just draw some shapes onto the smaller piece of paper. Now, I'm going to draw around my hand here. You can draw any shape you like. I'm just going to draw all the way around my hand. I'm sure you've done this a million times before, but not like this, I hope. Now when you've done that, just cut that shape out so you get something that looks like that. Put a bit of glue on the back of it and then just stick it to one side of the big piece. Just put it into place and press it down firmly, and there it is. But don't throw away the bit that you cut out. Bring that in, flip it over onto the opposite side and onto the other colour, put some glue on the back of that, and then press that firmly into place, and there you have a negative picture. And of course, you can do it any shape you like, any colour you like, any size you like. Just take two different coloured pieces of paper, cut one exactly half the size of the other, draw some shapes on the smaller one, cut it out, flip it over, and there it is. Try it yourself, a negative picture attack, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra!